Well, here I am. Good morning, friends. So we're going to jump right into it because there's just lots to talk about. Up on the screen next to me here, you can see an article from Dr. Vinay Prasad, who many people don't like because they claim that he has agendas besides the truth. Well, it's always very interesting when people don't like people that share the truth. Uh, Dr. J. Varma's sex parties are a metaphor for public health. Do as I say, not as I do. So, uh, just so you know that while we were in lockdown, having our lives and businesses destroyed, while we were in lockdown, having app slavery destroy employment for the rest of whatever is this U.S. empire's terrorist formation, they were having sex parties. They were having sex parties while you were being 6 feet apart. They were running train on Dr. Jane J. Varma's wife. Uh, Now, that's all fine with me. I don't really care what all these people do with their sex lives. It doesn't make any difference to me who you love or how you love them or what you want to do sexually. But when you're destroying the world and locking people down and making them mentally and physically ill with your fuckery, and you're having sex parties, and you are a New York City public health official, you're a maniac. These are maniacs. This is what we were doing. This is what they were doing, right? They're going out to fancy private restaurants while we're locked down in misery. While our elderly parents are sick and dying and unable to have any social life because they're scared out of their mind. This guy is running around having really exciting sex parties for him and his lovely wife, right? Gavin Newsom is off at the French Laundry having fancy dinners while you're home locked in hell with your family not being able to survive in an open society, in a free society, because they decided it was in your best interest. They decided it's like the song from the 80s. They decided it was in your best interest to be locked down, and they decided that it was also in your best interest that they should go have sex parties and go to fancy restaurants and have Thanksgiving with their families because they're special. They're special, you're not. They get to survive, you don't. Isn't that fun? No, it's not fun. It's not fun, but that's what they were doing. That's what they were doing while we were suffering and having our economy and world destroyed with their lockdown. That's what they were doing. Let's look at our friend. What is Red Pill saying here, my friend? P.S. If people have been educated like Jeff and where are those geek glasses, then just shut up and say, okay, you're right. Well, yeah, education isn't everything because a lot of people, hey, my brother Bravada Mike chasing cats, good to see you, man. We're in some bad times here, and one of the real warriors of our community. Whoops, that's not supposed to be happening. What's happening here? Well, I know what's happening. One of the real warriors of our community, Jeff Watts, made a video last night. And what makes Jeff Watts a real warrior of our community? Hey, major deliveries, glad you're here. We're talking about some critical, important stuff. And if any of my friends want to pop up on the screen here and talk to me about this stuff, I think it'd be great because this is the end of a real long road. Hey, major deliveries, Dustin, we're facing genocide, right? They want me dead, Brian dead, you dead, all of us dead. Not living unhealthy lives in slavery, but just actually dead. And how do we know that? Well, let's watch. So Jeff Watts, in case you don't know, I'm going to introduce him. Jeff Watts, Mike Drop Barbecue, is a guy who is a very good speaker, very charismatic, fun guy. Here he is doing some rap. That's probably his son there. All right. So Jeff is both an entertainer and a leader and a community worker. Uh, and so Jeff is going to come on the screen here and talk to us in just a second about why he is no longer going to be YouTube lives. And so this is our problem that we need to know, friends, is that everything we do, everything we say, everything we touch, that ownership of that, including just our words, me being here with you right now, the ownership of that is claimed by Google and by your government and by techno feudalists, and they're going to tax you and steal from you in everything you do. You will not be allowed to survive. Your survival, my survival is not allowed. It is not part of the plan. Now, we all know about censorship. So censorship could be like canceling people. Hey, Toaster, glad you're here, buddy. Censorship could be cutting off communication, right? Making it so that my words do not get heard. But they don't have to do that anymore. They don't have to censor us like that anymore because the internet is the greatest place in the history of the world to hide information. Okay. It's the greatest place in the history of the world to hide information. If a tree falls in the woods and there's nobody there to hear it, does it make a sound? If a broadcaster broadcasts on YouTube and nobody's there to hear it, does it make a sound? No, it doesn't. And here's so the YouTube and hey Chase 46, the YouTube and the Google and all of these things. This is called the China fallacy. We get told by a bunch of con artists who ran a Ponzi scheme and they're still running a Ponzi scheme. They're making money off the internet. And we get told over and over that if we just spend time on their internet where they're making money, that we'll make money someday too. Well, that's never going to happen, right? Because not only could they censor us and cut us off, but that would be too easy because I know when I'm being censored, I know if they nuke my YouTube channel, nobody's going to see me anymore. No, nobody's going to see me anymore if they nuke it. So that would be against their interest because you know what they could keep me doing? They could keep me on the YouTube channel and just make sure nobody ever hears my message and nobody ever sees my message and my message never goes anywhere because it's the China fallacy, it's the internet fallacy. Just because there's billions and billions of humans out there doesn't mean anybody's ever going to hear this message. And that's the game they played with Jeff Watts. What they did with Jeff Watts, because he was putting out a winning message that was true and honest and in the present moment about how people could defeat this evil of app slavery. Okay. He was doing that. And so what did they do? They rate limited his broadcasts. So he monetized. And what they did is they just limited it. And so he's going to tell us in a minute, I don't know, $20 for multiple hours of work broadcasting and, of course, making YouTube millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. Jeff Watts, this man has probably made YouTube millions, millions, millions of dollars with his talent and his broadcasting. They're going to give him exactly nothing for that because what they can do, you see, is they can use his message and then just rate limit him because his message is not suitable to advertisers. And when we mean advertisers, that's them. Who does his message have to be suitable to? It has to be suitable to Google and YouTube, which means it has to be suitable to BlackRock and DoorDash and Uber and Lyft. And so the only thing that's going to be allowed to make money on YouTube is the rideshare professor and Show Me the Money Club and people that are actually sellouts because they will conform all of their content to meet the YouTube advertising and Google advertising guidelines. Because if they don't, they won't make any money ever again. And so Jeff has a choice here. Jeff Watts has a choice here. Does he change his content so that he is now a shill for Uber and Lyft and DoorDash and what other app slavery trains may be run on us, just like they're running trains on Jay Varma, the New York Public Health officer's wife, right? Whatever trains they want to run on us to destroy us and destroy our lives, Jeff would have to capitulate to that. He would have to stop telling people to be free and to cut out the middleman, which is what Jeff's been doing. He's been telling people to be free and cut out the middleman. So what did they do? Well, they just made it impossible for Jeff to survive. They just made it impossible for Jeff to do this and make money. And here's the deal: Jeff, unlike me, I'm a terrible, terrible capitalist. He's a pretty good capitalist. He deals with money. He's comfortable with money. He makes money. He's a hustler. All the things I'm not. I know it's organized crime and it's fraud, and I've been in every part of it, and it literally disgusts me. It disgusts me viscerally as a human being because I know it's the root of all evil, and it's the reason that people are literally willing to watch a 56-year-old me die on the street and believe I deserve it because I didn't play their money game. I didn't play their money game, and so I have to die. I have to die. And I will never have a job, and I'm not allowed to have housing. I can't have a car to drive. I can't have a bank account because I didn't play by their capitalist rules. So they're going to destroy me for the rest of this human form's existence. They're going to destroy me and never let me make any money on their cloud platforms or anywhere else. Now, of course, they're going to gaslight me while they're doing it. They're going to pretend that if I just played ball, that I could make money. If I just conformed, if I just did what they said, that I would be okay. But that's not true. That's not true. There's no job that any of us on this broadcast right now can go to apply for that's going to even meet our basic needs for food, housing, and shelter and safety. Not one. Not one. What does that mean to somebody who was born in 1968 and whose body is growing old and frail before your very eyes, who's dying before your very eyes, just like you are? What does that mean to me that there is no possible scenario? Now, people tell me I'm a capable guy, that maybe I'm a good speaker, I'm a good writer, maybe I work real hard, maybe I have big muscles and I can lift things and I'm real strong. All of those things are relatively true for this pile of goo. I am all of those things. But guess what? Nobody wants fucking any of it. None of it. Because here's the deal, and I've been in this kind of poverty for a very long time since I didn't cooperate with the corporate world. I would be willing to go anywhere virtually in the world, mostly in the United States, but I would go anywhere just for safe housing, fair employment, healthcare, and basic human dignity. Anywhere, anywhere, anywhere on earth. And I know most of you would too, because we don't even have families anymore. Our families turn their back on us because they don't like failures that live in poverty and don't play corporate ball. They don't need us around. They can just say, we don't exist. You know who doesn't exist? The people that you're genociding. We don't exist. Generation X doesn't exist. We're just supposed to go die quietly in the corner. Is that what we're supposed to do? Is go die quietly in the corner? Because I'm into it. I might just disappear for fucking ever and just go into the wilderness and die quietly in peace with nature. Because this is fucking bullshit. This is just gaslighting. This is just narcissistic abuse. We're supposed to sit here. I'm supposed to sit here every day, willing to work, able to work, healthy, strong, and smart, and be told that there is no work for me. I'm supposed to sit here uh, every day and pretend that I'm not good enough to survive in their society. I'm not good enough to have housing. I'm not worthy of driving my own vehicle. I'm not worthy of being in my family's lives. My 83-year-old boomer parents don't think I'm worthy of being in their lives because I'm such a fucking loser. Why did I have to not? Why did I have to be honest? Why couldn't I just commit fraud in the corporate world and enrich myself like everybody else? They don't understand. They don't understand why I wouldn't commit fraud like everybody else so that I could be one of the people enjoying your genocide instead of being genocided with you. They don't understand why I didn't want to sit around and participate in your genocide and why I would rather die with you, which is what I'm doing today. We're just all being genocided. And it really sucks. It really, really, really sucks because I'm just a human being, man. I just want a woman to sleep in my bed next to me and tell me she loves me. I just want a dog on my feet to keep me warm. I just want to watch a football game and have a beer with my kids. I just want to fucking survive. But that's too much to fucking ask. That is just too much. I am not worthy of that. Don't you understand? I am not worthy of survival, and neither are you. That is what we are being told by America. We are not worthy of survival. We are now over 55. America doesn't want our body for their cannon fodder anymore, and we are just supposed to die on the street without ever having another legitimate job, without ever anybody giving us a fair chance at employment or at housing or at driving our own car or at having any kind of a life. Uh, uh, any kind of a life. You know why there's fentanyl all over the street? So people like me can go get addicted to drugs and kill themselves because there's no future for me. They just want me dead. They just want me dead at all costs, at any cost. They just want me dead, and they want you dead too. And then what do they get with us? They tell us, oh, immigrants are coming and taking your slave jobs. You should be mad at immigrants because immigrants are stealing app slavery from you. Oh man, and most of us buy it. Most of us look at the immigrants and go, "Yeah, they're taking my slave gig. I can't believe they're taking my slave gig. You can't take my slave gig. I'll fight for this slave gig." All right, let's watch Jeff Watts for a minute because I was going to stay all really calm and not get upset about being genocided today, but I'm upset about being genocided today. I'm not enjoying it anymore. I'm just not enjoying it anymore because you know what? It's not like I can get uh, a little bit of money or just a little bit of survival or a little bit of housing or a little bit of health care, a little bit of dental care, a little bit of dignity. No, none of it. Nothing. You get fucking nothing. Nothing. No bank account, no car to drive, no whatever. You just get genocided, and every day you lose more. Every day, whatever breaks, you're never getting it again. Every day you get more. Every day you lose more. Hey, Stephen Arrow, good to see you, sir. Let's watch our friend Jeff Watts here for a minute. I'm told that you can't hear Jeff, and I don't know why you can't hear Jeff. Let's see here. It's just one big Ponzi scheme. One big Ponzi scheme. Let's see what's going on here. Let me grab my headphones. Let's see what's going on here. Let me grab my headphones. All right. So let's let's see here if you can hear. Let's see if you can hear Jeff here. No, this happened to me before. All right, let's look at the video volume. All right, let's look at the video volume. Interesting. Okay, so we're being messed with by this awful technology. We're being messed with by this awful technology. I get it. This is all a big waste of our time. We're all wasting our time and lives right here. We're wasting them right now. We're wasting Jeff. You're watching Jeff Thomas Black waste his life, and it's awful. It's a absolute tragedy and travesty that we are wasting our time like this. Tell me if you can hear Jeff Watts at all. Somebody give me a thumb up if you can hear Jeff Watts at all. Okay, so we're being messed with by this awful
and make 2 G's in my drive. Because I told y'all, when I'm doing these live streams, I'm doing this for you guys. I'm doing these lives to keep you guys entertained while you're out making money, to give you information while you're out making money. I only got 1 or 2 people super chat me. I got my man Willie Mills. He always super chats me. JC, thank you for the super thanks in the chat. It's time to wake up. Bighorn Kev, I appreciate you guys. Robin, she comes with a super chat every once in a while. I appreciate.
Yeah, so obviously nothing is working here, which totally makes sense. Totally makes sense that nothing is working because these platforms are garbage. They're absolute.
2 G's in my drive because I told y'all.
Oh, wait a minute.
I'm doing these live streams. I'm doing this for you guys.
We can hear him.
I'm doing these lives to keep you guys entertained while you're out making money, to give you information while you're out making money.
But first let me finish this. Steak on my plate, cuz you know this rent ain't free. Don't try to hate, cuz you know that mentally destroys you, annoys you. Doing just what boys do. Boy, you motherfuckers destroying my joy. Out of my seat, about to destroy this beat. Let me stop. Out I walk.
I'm starting it over, and you guys let me know if you can hear what's going on.
And it's true because, in August, I dropped, I think 15 or 16, 17 lives. I don't know. I was doing sometimes 2 live streams a day. It was really good in August because I was trying something. I was trying to see, because my live streams are paid at a much higher rate. And so if I can do, 1,000 views per live stream, it's not bad. I can make, if I can keep cranking them out, I can make 60, 70 bucks on each live stream. So if you're doing, 15 a month, 90 of them, that's $900 just on live streams alone. And that's in just, ad revenue, about $900. My other revenue would come from other areas, which is not too bad. So YouTube decided, because they saw what I was doing, I think they kind of knew I was doing more live streams than normal. They decided to start limiting the amount of ad revenue I can get. So toward the beginning of the month, it was great. All green dollar signs on everything I've always done on this channel. Green dollar signs, green dollar signs. That means it's available for all advertisers. All advertisers can advertise with it. Green dollar signs. The end of August, I got 6 yellow dollar signs in a row. And I emailed YouTube. I said, hey, what's going on, man? Why am I getting all these limited revenue? Why am I getting all these ads? They're, you know, limited ad.
You see, here's the great thing about these cloud capitalist organized criminals. They don't even have to answer your emails. They can just gaslight you till the end of time, right? It's like the South Park when they had Comcast Xfinity on. Monopolies don't have to give you customer service. You're not a customer. You're a parasite. We're parasites to them. We mean nothing. We have no rights. They own everything. That's why they call it cloud feudalism, because it's like they're kings and queens and we're on their land, and they can come and they can take our vegetables and they can take our house and they can even take our wife or our husband if they want to. They can just draft your husband and make him go fight a war, or they can just steal your wife and have sex with her. They can steal your kids. They can force you to burn all your crops because they said so. They're maniacs. They're murdering us. They're literally murdering us. Let's watch more of Jeff.
Advertising, and it was just back, and all my lives are exactly the same. There's nothing different. Just back to back to back, 6 in a row. All 6 of my live streams, all leading up until September the 1st. And all of a sudden it started back green again. I didn't change anything, doing them the same way, acting the same way, same topics pretty much, but all of a sudden they're back to green again. So I haven't gotten an answer for them. So what I just,
if they answered you, it wouldn't be gaslighting, right? If they gave you clear answers and clear rules, they wouldn't be gaslighting and destroying you. They gaslight and destroy you by not giving you even clear, fair rules. They're just gaming this. They're just playing Jeff for a fool. They're just stealing his content because that's what criminals do.
decided to do is just stop doing live streams. I mean, I appreciate you guys, you know, giving me the super chats on the live streams. But if you want to support this channel, honestly, we don't even have to go through YouTube. I do have, you know, my Cash App and my Venmo right up under each video description. If you want to help support this channel, help keep the content going, because I'm not doing live streams because there's no support.
But here's the problem. Here's the problem, friends. And I was telling Brian about this morning. I was telling my friend Brian about this morning. This is the problem, is that Jeff, forget about the mic, just show my feet. I could do that. Braveheart, just the times and faces have changed. That's exactly, it is exactly like Braveheart. Welcome to Babylon, the land of confusion and lies, worship flags. Yeah, you guys got it. They didn't fool you. That's what I love about you guys, is they didn't fucking fool you. They didn't fool me either. Censorship is very real. And again, they don't have to censor us by cutting off our message. They can just deny us money and advertising and deny us the fuel that drives the machine, and then everything will be seen. But here's the problem with Jeff putting up. So Jeff Watts here, in a very, logical move. What does Jeff Watts do as a logical human being? Is Jeff Watts puts up his Cash App and Venmo. But here's the problem. And I explained this to Brian C. of DoorDash Sucks this morning. These things right here, these are part of their cloud capital. And the YouTube illusion only works when people are pumping it through YouTube. You think YouTube created YouTube so that people could go around them to Cash App and Venmo and other things? No, they know that psychologically that doesn't work. It's a crowd frenzy. It's a frenzy of activity. So when people do a super chat, they do like a little mini advertisement for their ego. They go like, oh, Jeff, my name got on the screen. I did a super chat and Jeff Watts said he loves me, right? You don't get that dopamine hit. You don't get those drugs from this addiction. You don't get the dopamine hit, the drugs from this addiction, unless you play by all their rules. You got to stick it all the way in the vein. You can't do the rub on cream. You got to stick it in the vein. You got to take the death shot. You got to take the poison. You got to take all the poison. You got to do it through YouTube. And if Jeff doesn't want to do it through YouTube, or if his message, unlike rideshare marketer / professor, unlike the Show Me the Fraud Club, Show Me the Money Club, if Jeff doesn't sell out to BlackRock and Lyft and Uber and the devil and whatever other evil forces rule this fucking hellscape that we live in, if Jeff doesn't do that, Jeff doesn't get the reward of the game. You can't have part of the game. Nobody is going to give Jeff enough to survive, to be a broadcaster on a cloud platform, through Cash App or Venmo or anything else, because the game's rigged against him. The game's rigged against him, and nobody's going to see his content. Doesn't matter how big he grows his audience. They're going to keep fighting against him. He can't win. He can't win. Now, could he go to BitChute, or could he go to Rumble or Rockfin or somebody else's platform? He could, because I watch and go on morning shows where people have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of live viewers and don't make any money whatsoever, not even enough to survive, not even enough to support one measly person working on the show full time. What is this system of app slavery, of YouTube slavery, of Google slavery, of empire slavery that they're giving us, that doesn't even meet our basic needs unless we're a sellout who was in on the ground floor of the Ponzi scheme? Unless your name is Sergio Avedian, or Pedro DoorDash Santiago, or a rideshare professor, or somebody else who sold out and got in bed with all of the evil to profit off it, because they're poverty pimps. If you're not a poverty pimp, you can't succeed here. Not only can you not succeed, you can't even survive. And that's what Jeff Watts is proving us to us right here, because Jeff did not turn into a poverty pimp. Jeff is not selling you out into poverty like everybody else. I'm not selling you out into poverty like everybody else. Brian doesn't sell you out into poverty via his channel. So you know what we all are? We're being genocided. We're being destroyed. We're being destroyed. And they don't have to cut off our ability to broadcast. They just have to cut off our audience and our ability to survive in this society. Because if you're houseless, you can't broadcast. If you're houseless, you can't broadcast. If you can't afford an internet connection or a cell phone anymore, you can't broadcast. If you can't drive a car anymore, you can't broadcast. So they just drove Jeff right out of the truth business, didn't they? They just drove Jeff right out of the truth business, because guess what? There's $0.00 in the truth business. There is $0.00 to be made in the truth business. There's $0.00 to be made from selling a book to people who have no money. There's $0.00 to be made from broadcasting to people who have no money. There's $0.00 to be made on a platform whose advertisers you don't promote as a poverty pimp. How are you surviving? How are you surviving? Somebody tell me how you're surviving. I don't get it, because I don't know how I survive. It's literally impossible. It's freaking impossible. I just lose more every day. Every day I lose more. Every single day. Do I go to Mexico as a refugee? Do I go to Canada as a refugee? I'm in Oregon already as a refugee, and nobody cares. So if I'm a refugee in a foreign country, will somebody care? Who will take mercy upon a 56-year-old broken down old man who just doesn't want to die? Nobody, 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 because I'm not a compliant slave. And even now, I can even go like, hey, I'm old and tired. I'll be a compliant slave now, but it's too late for me. They're not accepting compliant slave applications anymore. There's no longer your application for slave application is no longer accepted. You can't even apply for the slave game anymore. Now you just have to die. You just have to die, because you cannot have enough money to survive. Maybe you have a family. Maybe you have a family that has money and doesn't hate you because you're poor. I doubt it. Most of us, if we have family that's not poor, they hate us for being poor. Tell me if you've got family. Tell me if you've got family who's not poor that doesn't think you're the problem. Somebody tell me in the chat, or come on this freaking show and tell me about your family who's not poor and actually understands what it's like for you to live in poverty and joblessness without any way to get housing or health care or food or your basic needs met. Do you have an understanding family? Because my family just doesn't even give a fuck if I'm alive or dead. And it's amazing to me, because I was one heck of a kind of a dedicated son and brother kind of guy. And nobody gives a fuck if I'm dead now, which is just wild. It's just wild. It's unbelievable. Hey, Major, you want to come on and talk? Dustin, you want to come on and talk? Anybody want to come on and say a few words? Let's listen to Jeff here for a minute.
For it. I'm doing all 6 of those live streams, 6 of them, and I'm on there 3-4 hours, 6 of them. They're making me like $23 for one of them. You know,
6 hours of work for $23 for Google. And don't think that he's not making YouTube and Google a ton of money. He's making them a ton of money. Ton of money. Anybody voting for anybody is absurd. We're being genocided. Nobody that we can vote for will stop our genocide. Thinking that an idiot named Trump or an idiot named Harris will help us is just ridiculous. It's just absolutely patently ridiculous. One of them is in the power now as part of the administration. The other one was in power before, and they're both giant pieces of shit and liars. Which all politics are liars. We're not surviving right now. We're not surviving right now. Our empire is waging war around the world right now. Your basic needs, my basic needs as a human being are not being met today. And I'm tired of it. I'm exhausted of it. I'm completely exhausted, literally to death of trying to survive with nothing, with no bank account, no driver's ability, no job, no housing, no family. It's just not fucking worth it anymore, man. It's just not worth it anymore. Just walk into the wilderness or something. I'm not sure what we're supposed to do, but continuing to be gaslighted as we are genocided is just the worst. It's just the worst.
$41 for the other one. This is real, dead serious. I'm not sitting on YouTube for 4 hours to make $20. I'm not doing it. And it's because the channel is growing. We're doing different things. We're finding new ways to make money. We're out.
The channel is growing. They're doing things. They're finding ways to make money, but not on YouTube. It's not going to work, man. It's not going to work because YouTube will crush you. YouTube will crush you. They'll just turn you off. They'll just turn you off. They'll steal everything you've ever done. And he knows they will too. Jeff knows this stuff.
Out there showing people how to convert rides. We're making really good money. Me, I got a transmission sitting in the garage right now. I'm getting $1,500 for that. I got a Mercedes SL 500 showing up in my driveway tomorrow. Mercedes SL 500. That's going to be about $2,000 in labor. I mean, just one thing they want done on that car. Just one out of all the stuff they've done. Just one. The dealership will probably charge them about 3 G's for it. Just one. And I'm doing everything for about $2,000 in labor. And it might take me about 3-4 days to do it all. 3-4 days. I can sit here and make 2 G's in my drive. Because I told y'all, when I'm doing these live streams, I'm doing this for you guys. I'm doing these lives to keep you guys entertained while you.
So here's the challenge, right? Here's the challenge. He is doing it for you guys, and I believe that, and I'm doing it for you guys too. But that's the problem is that the people doing it for you guys can't survive anymore. They got us, man. They got us down. Now Jeff is a mechanic, and he can fix cars, and he's got a marketable skill in this economy. I am a highly educated former business person who the economy wants dead. So I don't have car maintenance skills or whatever like Jeff does, uh, which is unfortunate, right? That I don't have like trade skills, but that's not what I went to work for. That's not what I went to school to learn. I went to school to learn ostensibly how to be an honest business person in the American empire, and that didn't work out so good. Apparently, you can't be an honest business person in the American empire. So Jeff's got some skills, and what he's telling you, right, is that he can make way more money doing anything but helping to end app slavery because they're not going to let him do it, right? This is how they control us without just nuking our channel. They're just going to make it impossible for Jeff to make any money helping you. They're going to make his message unsaleable, and if it's unsaleable, then nobody's going to hear it, and so they win. They win. They already won. They've already done all this stuff. And yeah, I'm in the same boat. Boomers use me and spit me out. Yeah, they literally think they're like, well, if you don't, we heard the jobs report, like they say, yeah, mechanics definitely make more money than rideshare. And so, yeah, boomers will go like, well, that they say in the jobs report, there's like jobs. People have jobs. People have housing. There's jobs in housing. Yeah, in theory, there are jobs in housing. In practice, If your name is Brian, or if your name is Jeff, or if your name is any one of another whole bunch of names, and you're a male in your 50s, there is no jobs and there is no housing. If you're not married or attached to somebody that society does care about, you're just a dead person, because nobody cares about an aging male in this society. Nobody. Nobody. There's no social services programs. I mean, I get, maybe you could live like in a chicken hut or in a homeless shelter or something, I suppose. If that was your dignity, you could try and get on food stamps and take whatever positive poverty housing, or live in a tent or whatever. Who knows? Who knows? We can only imagine what these people think we should do to survive, and we can only know that they gaslight us every day and literally deny everything we do just to stay alive. Everything we do just to stay alive, just to live another day. Uh, they think we don't deserve that because we don't try hard enough. We just don't try hard enough. None of you are trying hard enough. I don't try hard enough. We just don't want it. I just deep down, we just don't want to survive. That's absurd, right? That. Of course, it doesn't. Every human being, every refugee, every immigrant just wants to survive. Yep, yep. Your family knows Larry Fink, right? Families do all kinds of things, but they have to rationalize why you deserve it. 76 red pills. And by the way, if you tell any truth about your life, they'll just deny it. They'll just pretend it doesn't exist. They'll say there are jobs out there, you just don't try hard enough to get one. Or when you have a job where they're abusing you, you should have kept it. Why weren't you more cooperative with the job that was abusing you, or asking you to commit fraud, or asking you to do things that were beyond or outside your morality? You should have just done it. You should have just been a good slave of the empire. Now you're paying the price. You're going to die on the street, and it's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault for not living the American dream. No, you're not. You're not good workers. You're just not playing ball, Stephen Arrow. It's you. It's all you. You just don't want it bad enough. I don't want it bad enough. I just don't want. I could get up at 5 a.m. every day and work 18-hour days straight trying to survive, but it's not enough. I don't want it bad enough, Stephen Arrow. I just don't want it bad enough. There's something in me that's just flawed. I don't deserve to live and survive in my parents' American empire. I am not worthy of it. I was a bad boy. I made police angry, and I used bad language. And when I refused to commit corporate fraud, I wasn't really nice about it. And so now I just deserve it. I just deserve it, Stephen Arrow. You deserve it. I deserve it. We deserve to die because nobody wants us. Nobody wants us. And it's not their problem if there are no jobs. It's not their problem if there's no housing because of organized crime. It's not their problem if we can't get medical care or dental care or even the basics of life, and that our phone dies and our car dies and we can't get insurance anymore and we lose our bank account and we lose all ability to survive. That's not their problem. That's not their problem. That's us. That's on us. That's on us for just, not being them. Yeah, because they're special. They're special. They deserve everything that they have. They earned everything that they have. Uh, they are special. They deserve it. Um, and only their view of the world is correct, and they will go to their dying day insisting that that is the fact. Yeah, and yeah, Diddy and everybody else, right? Everybody with privilege is allowed to gamble, lie, cheat, steal, be a complete scumbag, be just a pollutant criminal on planet Earth. But they have what we call wealth immunity. When you're wealthy, maybe you can't get away with it forever. Maybe Diddy actually comes to do some justice, but for the most part, wealthy people are getting away with all of it. And they sacrifice the worst of themselves every once in a while. Looks like maybe they're going to sacrifice P Diddy, but how many other people were corrupted? How many people were corrupted by Jeffrey Epstein, who had the dirt on all of the highest officials in our government? Why do you think Kamala Harris and Trump and Waltz and JD Vance are all where they are because everybody has compromising information on all of them. They're all sellouts. They're all scumbag, lying, criminal monsters. All of them. Every single one of them. Every single one of them.
You're out making money, to give you information while you're out making money. I only got one or two people super chat me. I got my man Willie Mills. He always super chats me. JC, thank you for the super thanks in the chat. It's time to wake up. Bighorn Kev, I appreciate you guys. Robin, she comes with a super chat every once in a while. I appreciate that. But what you guys don't realize is that I can make money without doing that.
Well, they do realize that. Everybody realizes that. And that's why people try to support it within the system. But again, uh, YouTube and Google own this entire planet and solar system that we're in. There is no way to do anything in this planet and solar system that are not owned by YouTube and Google. And Jeff is seeing that, right? He can break away from Uber and Lyft and show you how to cut out the middleman. You ain't breaking away from Google and cloud capitalists. You're not doing it. Even if you get your own website and you just broadcast directly off your own website, Google can make it unsearchable. Google can make it essentially disappear because everybody is using the utilities of Google and other AI and software based platforms to filter out what you see, including your own government, including all propaganda, right? Because this is all pyramid scheme empire propaganda. Your housing, the fact that you can't afford housing, that's all part of a organized criminal scheme that has bid up your housing cost to 10 times what it should be. You're paying 10 times the rent that you should be paying, or 10 times the amount to purchase a house that you should be paying, maybe 20, maybe 50, because it's all bid up for the fraud that made billionaires billionaires. They stole all the money. And so here's what I said to Brian, right? And you guys tell me, and this is true. I don't think you guys even have a dollar to send to Jeff for the most part. I think a lot of you don't even have bank accounts anymore, much less a dollar to send to Jeff. And so the whole thing, if you're not fueling the fraud and the empire, like Show Me the Money Club, if you're not in on the grift with the CEO, with corporate fascists, with organized crime, if you're not in on the grift, like Show Me the Money Club, if you're not in on the grift, like Rideshare Professor, then it's not survivable. You have to be a poverty pip. You have to jump on the organized crime train. There is no other way. And Jeff is a living example of that. And well, and so am I. Right. Yeah. So don't forget to do all of these things, right? And that's what people will say to you, right? Of, well, have you reworked your resume? Have you done this? Have you done that? As if any of us could do anything to make ourselves more marketable in a empire where there's no market for us. The empire doesn't want us. They don't even want us for cannon fodder. We're told to join the military. They don't want us for anything. They just want us to go die or just depend upon our family if we are lucky enough to have any family that gives a shit if we're dead or not. But again, but the propaganda of the empire is so bad that most of the empire has convinced our families to turn their backs on us too, because we're not worthy. We're app slaves. We're the forgotten people. We're the chosen victim. We are the ones. We are the human sacrifices of the empire. You're a human sacrifice. I am a human sacrifice. That's what we're doing here, right? I don't even have a computer. Proud to say you haven't done a delivery in 2 months. Fuck those guys. That's right, because you're not going to get anything out of it. Well, a few measly dollars. I mean, I'm watching Glitch Dash do deliveries for $4 or $5 and driving his own car and getting in car wrecks in his own car uh, for nothing, for literally nothing, for literally nothing. I mean, I guess it gets you out of the house. If getting out of the house is your idea of survival, then I guess getting out of the house is your idea of survival. But it's not work. It's not gainful employment. It's absolutely nothing but slavery. It's not even wage slavery. It's just slavery. It's app slavery, which is worse than wage slavery because you're not even getting basic compensation for your time. You're just being used by corporate fascists. Yeah, can't justify the expense. Besides, what good is it if if you can't pay the cable bill or phone bill? That's right. I mean, look, we're losing our cell phones, we're losing our cars, we're losing our ability to drive. This is what they've driven us into. This did it for you, Damien the Omen. This is what they're driving us into. They're just driving us further and further and further into poverty. So last year we had a car and a driver's license. This year we have neither. Uh, Last year we had car insurance. Now I don't have any car insurance. Last year we had a cell phone that worked. Now we don't even have a cell phone that works. They're murdering us, and we're going for it. We're signing up for our own genocide. It's amazing. It's fucking amazing. And our families don't care. That's amazing. Our families are going to watch us be genocided because it confirms their worldview. It conforms to their worldview that we just didn't try hard enough for the American dream, and they're the winners. They're the winners. They win. You lose.
And YouTube needs to realize the same thing. Don't throw yellow dollar signs on everything I'm doing, because if you do that, you're showing me that my time is not appreciated.
Yeah, his time's not appreciated. His time is not appreciated. This is a waste of his time. And YouTube fully and completely uh, created the entire app slavery scam to be a waste of your time. That's what this is. That's what YouTube is. That's what Google is. That's what all of this is a waste of your time. Yeah, if you paid the rent, you can't put tires back on your car. You're right. Like, look, Steve, I'm telling you, man, that the weirdest thing about poverty is you lose more every day. Something breaks, and then you can't replace it. Every day, your lighter goes out. Your lighter goes out. You can't afford a new lighter. You don't have $1.50 for a new lighter. You don't have a bank account anymore. You don't have a house anymore. How long? How long before before I don't have any teeth and I'm on the street? How long before I just don't have any teeth, I'm on the street, and people could say, "Oh, well, Jeff could speak and he could write. He had so much potential. He had so much potential. Now he's killing himself with fentanyl. Jeff had so much potential." That's what my parents tell me. "Oh, you had potential. You had so much potential." This is worthless. This is a fucking dead ghost right here. This is a dead, worthless human being, a worthless ghost who doesn't deserve food, housing, shelter, or a family. No, just unworthy of life. I'm unworthy of human existence right here. That's me. Uh, uh, because they say so. Me sitting here and doing anything is not good enough. I just need to die because whatever I'm doing, it's not good enough. It's just not good enough for you. It's not good enough for them. It's not good enough for the empire. Does anybody really believe that? Does anybody really believe that one of us, any one of us, couldn't put themselves on this screen and be worthy of existing? Like, what kind of Nazi philosophy is behind this American exceptionalism and independence? What kind of Nazi philosophy is behind yeah, if you have a bank account, they'll just garnish it and tax it and destroy it. What's your comment, Brian? We have ruled this year 5 years rather than give it up, we'll destroy it. Yeah, yeah. So they're do it, and so the boomers are doing the same thing. My boomer parents have ruled this earth since 1941, and they'd rather see their own son die than admit that they're not exceptional. They'd rather see their own son dead in genocide than admit that they were incorrect about corporate fraud. Nope, they're going to stick with the cops who torture and falsely arrest people, and stick with the corporate fraud. That's what they're going to stick with that team. That's the team they're sticking with. Yep, silent slaves. That's what they want from us. Be silent. Be silent. Don't complain while we're genociding you. Do not complain while we're murdering you. It's very distasteful if you complain while we're murdering you and taking everything you ever had, and taking your independence, and taking your ability to drive, and taking your bank account, and taking your employment opportunities, and taking your housing, and taking your medical care and dental care. And maybe if you have young kids, they'll take those too. Thank God my kids are grown up. because the family courts will take your kids too. They'll take your kids too. And they're not the people you want messing around with your kids. They're a bunch of fucking psychopath pedophiles and scumbag criminals. It's beyond sad, man. It's whatever is well beyond sad, my friend, Sinful Toaster. It's whatever is much, much past and well beyond sad. It's a nightmare from which we cannot awaken. It is a nightmare from which we cannot awaken, and from which every day we will be told we're not good enough to survive. Every day, every single one of us will be told that we're not worthy of fair pay. We're not worthy of housing that we can afford. We're not worthy of medical care that rich people get, or medical care that would keep us mentally healthy, physically healthy, with a mouthful of teeth. We're not worthy of that. We're not worthy of compassion or empathy. We're not worthy of anything. We're not worthy of anything. And if there is no employment for us, that's because we're not valuable to the market. And it's our responsibility to be valuable to techno feudalists and oligarch murderers. We have not made ourselves valuable enough to the techno feudalists and oligarch murderers to stick around. And if we're not valuable to the corporate fascists, then we must die. We must not just die quickly, but we must just be starved out, homeless, toothless, penniless, bank accountless, carless, and stuck in hell, unable to even take care of our most basic human needs. That is what is required of us. That is what is being demanded of me, is that I die quietly. And no matter what I do, no matter where I go, no matter what I say, nobody will give me a job or housing or health care or whatever else. Nobody can see me. I'm a ghost, right? I'm broadcasting to the world here, and I'm calling your bluff. Here, hey, I dare you. Somebody offer me fair. I can run any company that you might know of. I can do marketing or advertising uh, or management of any type you want. I'm a highly qualified individual. Nobody in the world will give me an employment opportunity to save my own life today. Nobody in the world on planet Earth, including all my business school classmates at Duke University, including anybody I've ever known, nobody is going to give me the basic chance of fair employment or housing today. Nobody. Nobody anywhere. I'm just a homeless guy who is scheduled to die at 56. Thank you very, very much for all of that. I appreciate it, friends. I appreciate it, family, mom, dad, my brothers, Greg and Eric. I appreciate that you can just ignore me dying homeless, jobless, and familyless, because I deserve it. That's clearly what I deserve. And I'm here to tell you I'm ready to take one for the team. Let's just whoop ass on Jeff, because I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I'm here to admit it. I'm up with Dr. Sapolsky. I'm getting down with my friend Dr. Robert Sapolsky. I have no free will. And so I'm here to sacrifice myself for you, not in my free will, but just because I have no choice. I'm no choice. I'm just being genocided, and it's fun. Everybody can watch, and you can be genocided with me, because we're on the same team. We're on the team that deserves it. That's us. We deserve it. It doesn't matter, Brian. It doesn't matter if people that are distant from us with no money care about us or whatever. I mean, you care about me. My kids care about me. I'm very fortunate that I still have my kids in my life, and it's nice. I've got friends that care about me in the world, but that's not enough. That's not enough. That's not enough. It's nice that people care about me, but I'm just being. I can't do this anymore. And much like Jeff Watts, there's just no reason for me to continue to pretend that I can survive an unsurvivable system. Um, it's yeah. There's no end. There's no end. There's no end. I don't know. Like I said, I told all of you, like, I just taking a moment at a time. But here's the deal, like, my audience doesn't even have a dollar anymore. Who would I print this book for? Who would I spend weeks and months creating this book for? My audience doesn't even have $1. My audience doesn't have a bank account. My audience is being genocided like I am. So I could make a book. I could spend all the time and effort and print out a PDF of my book and give it away for free online, which would be great for Google, right? How much could Google and YouTube make on videos and my PDF of my book that I worked on for 4.5 years for free that nobody's ever going to give me any money for? 4.5 years to it, where it's years of work for free. Nobody's ever going to give me money anymore for it. I know that. And I told Brian that. I told Brian why he can't raise any money for his channel and why Jeff Watts can't raise any money for his channel and his work. Because it's not valued by the people who stole all our money. It's just us, the slaves. We're just in the sewer here by ourselves. They took our money supply. There's no oil in the engine. Our engine's just burning up and dying. That's what we're here for, to burn up and die. Yeah, those people don't really care about you, sinful toaster. Those are just narcissists. That's just narcissists from the narcissistic empire abuse. They're just gaslighting you to further drive you into madness and poverty and death because they just want you dead. This is mentally unsurvivable what they're doing to us. We know this. Why do you think people are giving up? Why do you think everyone's giving up? Why do you think Glitch Dash takes $4 orders or $5 orders? Because he gave up. He's not even trying. You can't try. There's no point in trying. There's nothing to try for. There is nothing to try for anymore. It's gone. I'm not even smart enough to be scared anymore because everything's so fucking scary. There's so much anxiety and fear. Like, I don't even like, I mean, look, when you're already homeless and dead, you're already homeless and dead. There's no further to go. I've lost everything already. Everybody's lost everything already. And I know you guys are there too. That's why I'm comfortable sharing this with you because you guys are all in the same place. I don't want their EBT card. I don't want their public housing, which is probably like a chicken hut next to a meth addict who's going to kill himself. I don't want to live next to crazy people who are killing themselves, which is what you get if you go into their system, right? You're going to be in a system with people that are literally killing themselves with drugs and alcohol and addictions and mental health issues. Yeah, I don't have any of those things. I keep myself, the one thing I've been able to do through poverty is keep myself mentally and physically well, just through sheer will, just through the luck of being born with good genetics and being able to fight off depression and alcoholism and drug abuse and whatever else I could fall victim to. I just don't because it's not in me because I'm very, very, very fortunate in that way. But it would be the logical thing to do. There isn't any reason I shouldn't drink or drug myself to death. It would be the absolute reasonable thing to do in my situation is to just enjoy the learned helplessness and just get on with it and get it over with because this is untenable. And like I said, when you're in poverty, it doesn't get better every day. It gets worse every day, worse every day. Yeah, jail cell, right? I mean, you know what they call that, Stephen Arrow? They call that two hots in a cot, right? You could just be a jail slave. I've thought of that. Because I do find I've been in solitary confinement. Like, I know how to survive in jail. I can survive in jail. I could be a jail slave and just take a good nap and write books in jail. Yeah, but that's right. But and even that, so Sinful Toaster says, I don't want to be part of a community that's basically just a job to stay employed in. But that's all they're giving us, right? They fractionalized us down with app slavery, and in this community where it's not even, uh, they're putting us all at the gunpoint of death and homelessness and poverty. There's no social safety net in the United States. Like literally, the greatest. Yeah, let's get a gig con going. That's pretty funny. Brian, that's a good joke. That's good gallows humor. That's good gallows humor. Yeah, they butchered the word community. That's very good. It's very good point. But here's the thing, right? That Jobs that don't pay enough for your human survival is not a job. That's just slavery. And if what they're playing on is your psychological need to be a slave, your psychological need to be attached to something, even if it's killing you, talk about cognitive dissonance. Talk about learned helplessness, right? You're going to literally kill yourself for a job, but that job doesn't pay enough for you to have housing, medical care, and food. Whoa, hey, wait, how does that work? Where'd they get that one? Where'd they get that one that they now want us to take jobs and gigs that don't pay for food, housing, and medical care and dignity? Well, how about no? How about just no? Because that's the only answer. That's the only answer you can give is no. You can't say yes to that offer. If you say yes to that offer, you got nothing left. But there's a price to saying no too. Like if you're an educated person like me, who's not a plumber or a nurse or an electrician or something with a license where you can fall back on, they'll make sure you never have employment again. Never, ever have any employment again. And as your body gets old, then they tell you that you'll never work again. And then, so what are you supposed to do when you're in your 50s and you're looking at 20 years of hell without a bank account, living on the street? You want to live on the street? Most people don't want to live on the street. You want to start a new drug habit? You want to find a new way to kill yourself? That's not a lot of fun. Doesn't sound like a good time. I don't want to be depressed and hopeless and jobless and toothless and dependent upon society. And talking about fraud, talking about fraud, talking about fraud, do you know that multiple people, many people over the years have suggested, well, Jeff, why don't you go on disability? Disability. I have an MBA from Duke. I'm extremely physically strong naturally and by exercise. Uh, I am very expert in human psychology, including my own, and work very hard to be conscious and present every day. So, if in fact I am disabled, then everyone on planet Earth is disabled because I have no disability. Now, could I go to a court and convince people somehow that because I'm getting old, because I'm 56 and my shoulders and elbows can't do hard labor anymore, that I'm disabled? I mean, I guess I could try. What a completely insane world that would be, that I wanted to go on disability and be dependent upon people who only want me dead and who have lied about and scammed me for my entire life. What about going on disability? How does that seem like a good offer to me? In addition to the fact that it's just patently not true. I'm not in the least bit disabled or unable to work. I just don't, there are just no capitalists or rich people or wealthy people or people who are employers that will give me the opportunity to work. And I also happen to live in a very, very depressed, very broken economy in Oregon where there are no living wage jobs for anyone, much less me. And I only live where I live, right? Nobody hires you in Arizona or New Mexico when you're stuck in poverty in Oregon without a bank account. Nobody hires you if you can't be there or go there or meet them or anything else. Those jobs don't exist for you. So, like in a whole world of jobs, you're not getting a job in Saudi Arabia or China. You're just getting a job wherever a job is within 10 miles of your house, because those are the only places that are even going to hire a human being today, is someplace close in your local economy. But what's the problem? They're not paying enough for you to live there. My friend Brian was taking a 2.5 to 3 hour commute to a place for work every day. And why would anybody do that? Because he can't afford to live where they want him to work. So the numbers don't add up. Where he worked, he would have to make $50 an hour to live within 20 minutes of his work site. So you got to choose one or the other. You either have to be paid enough to live where you work, or there has to be work where you live that pays enough. If neither of those things is true, if there's no work where you live that pays enough, and wherever you can go to doesn't pay you enough to get there or live there, you don't have any work. And guess what? We don't have. We don't have any employment. We don't have any work. We don't even have app slavery anymore because app slavery paying you $3 or $4 to use your own vehicle to go get in car accidents and destroy your life is not going to help you. It's only going to hurt you. And we're all living proof of it. We're all just here being living proof of the fact that that app slavery will kill you and destroy your life. We are all living proof of the fact that app slavery will kill you and destroy your life. Yeah, so Canada is going to help its people commit suicide, and the U.S. is helping its people commit suicide with fentanyl and crime and homelessness and poverty. What do you think it means to go homeless in your 50s? What do you think it would mean if I grab a tent and go out and live on the street? That means I'm going to be dead in the next year. That's what it means. That's what it means if old Jeff Thomas Black goes, gets a tent to go live on the streets of Portland. I will be dead within a year. Somebody will murder me in a violent crime. Somebody will steal my things. Somebody will attack me while I'm sleeping, whatever, because the people out on the street, they're not okay. They're not okay. It's not safe. You're not going to be okay out on the street. It's called death. That's what they're offering me since I can't have a job or a house or a dog or any kind of human decency or dignity. They're offering me homelessness and death. That's just a terrible offer. It's a terrible offer. It's a terrible way to die. I'm going to die on the streets of the state that I grew up in because I'm not good enough to survive. Yeah, no, prison doctors, if you want to be a prison doctor, you got to really sell out humanity because you got to be part of a system in which people are being tortured. And prison doctors happen to know that people are being tortured. And people in prison don't get their proper medications or proper medical treatment or anything else, which is why in our county jails and in our prisons, people die without medical treatment because nobody gives a fuck about them because they're slaves. But that's us too. That's us too. Nobody cares about us. Nobody cares about us. We are dying. We are dying right now because nobody cares about us. And let me tell you something, if you go out to live on the street in your car, Roy, Real Talk with Roy, people know Real Talk with Roy, right? Roy went and lived in his car as an app slave. And very shortly, Roy got blood clots in his legs and he almost died and ended up in the hospital. That's what happens to people in their 40s and 50s when they go live in their car to be an app slave and they go live on the street. They're going to end up dead real soon. Real dead, real soon. Real dead, real soon. What does Kamala Harris want to do? Sell you a 2026 housing plan, a 2026 infrastructure and housing plan that's going to stop your genocide in 2 years after you're dead? That sounds great. What is that maniac Trump want to offer you? Nothing. He's already been president. Did he save you? No, he didn't save you then. He's not going to save you now. Nobody's saving you. You're going to save yourself if anybody saves you, but you're doing a terrible job of it, and so am I. We're doing an absolutely terrible job of saving ourselves. I'm doing a terrible job at saving myself. I'm very healthy. I'm very healthy. I'm walking 40 miles a week. I'm meditating. I'm thinking. I'm praying. I'm talking to my friends. I'm being part of a community. I'm doing a terrible job of survival. I'm just being genocided every day, and it's fucking killing me. The stress and the anxiety and the deprivation and the poverty. My phone's dying. My hot tub's dying. My blender died. My car doesn't work. Uh, everything, everything just breaking every single day. Everything, one more thing breaks, and I can't replace it. And the people that I know that are out here in the community, Brian C. and Jeff Watts, they can't raise $1. They can't make $20. They can't make enough to stay housed. Yeah, there's no morality in their system. There's no morality in their system. There's no morality in genociding you. If I haven't made this clear, it's not my fault and it's not your fault. We are not the problem. We are being gaslighted and genocided by people who stole our future and stole our country with their lies. That's right. I am free and I can walk away. But let me tell you, that's a whole lot of pain, and losing the family too. That's probably what really, more than anything, drove me over the edge. Is just the fact my own family, my own brothers, my own mom and dad just turned their back on me because I'm a truth teller, because I won't commit fraud, because I wasn't a good slave. They're like, fuck this guy, he's not a good slave. Well, okay, fuck this guy. I'm pretty used to people saying fuck this guy. I can take it. I can take it. I awakened. But just because you're awakened and conscious doesn't mean that you're going to enjoy being tortured to death in poverty. And I am not enjoying it. I'm not happy about it. I don't like it. And I know it's happening. I'm watching it happen to me and my friends in real time, and I'm watching us be gaslighted, and I'm watching people ask us questions about our gaps in employment. You go to a job interview, and somebody's going to ask you in 2024 about a gap in employment. Have they not heard about the global pandemic and shutdown? Everybody had a gap in employment. You know what they're doing? They're discriminating against you. They're gaslighting you. They're screwing with your head. Do you think the person interviewing you is going to tell you about their family and their gaps in employment and whether they're able to pay their rent? No, because they're a poverty pimp. Brian C. has worked with a whole bunch of poverty pimps that tried to talk him into taking and doing jobs that don't even pay his rent. And they know it doesn't pay his rent. They know he can't afford to do it. They know that he's commuting 5.5, 6 hours a day to get paid for 7. They don't care. They don't care if 1 plus 1 doesn't equal your rent. They still want you to be a slave and to die for their corporation. Yeah, I do have big fucking fish. That may be one of the reasons that I'm still alive, is because I do have physical traits that made me strong enough to survive a lot of really fucked up situations. That shouldn't be required, though, right? You shouldn't have to be strong and fight for your life. You should not have to fight for your life every day. You should not have to fight for your life every day. And guess what? It's not survivable. I don't care how strong you are. You're not a lone wolf. You can't fight. Human beings are not meant to survive alone. I'm not tough enough to survive alone. I'm lonely as hell. I'm isolated as hell. I cannot drive my own vehicle. I can't have my own house. I can't have my own pet. I can't get any veterinary care for a pet if I had one. Thank God my kids are grown, so I don't have children living in poverty with me. Yeah, there you go. After COVID had to leave the job after 10 years, the boomer didn't want to pay me enough to not be on welfare. That's how I became a gig worker. That's right. Well, guess what? I went homeless with COVID because I lived with people that were of different ages, and I couldn't risk their health by being in and out of the house. So I went homeless for COVID. And it destroyed whatever small semblances of what my life had left at that point as well. That was a great con that they did, as they transferred trillions of dollars of wealth up to us, or up to them from us. You're speaking straight facts. The world is passing away. Be sure you know Jesus. There's nothing here for us. Well, listen, truer words were never spoken, Stephen Arrow. There is nothing here for us, and that is terrifying. And I know very little. Uh, do I know Jesus? I don't know. I'm hoping if I don't know Jesus, at least Jesus knows me, because I'm just a pile of goo, man. And I'm a fucking impoverished and desperate and genocided pile of goo. And I'm fucking exhausted. I'm a 56-year-old man. How hard do you think I can fucking fight to survive every day and stay alive? Without a bank account, without a car, without any social life, without any support, without a family, without fucking parents that love and support me or care about whether I'm alive or dead. How fucking long do you think we're supposed to do this just fucking out in the wilderness? At least the wilderness would be beautiful. This isn't very beautiful. It's not beautiful living in the city of Portland with no money. It's just humiliating. It's just exhausting. It's just genocidal. I'm just watching myself and my fellow human being being used daily for whatever we have left while we're being murdered because we're not even worthy of the most basic human considerations. And let me tell you something, friends and neighbors, if you go outside as a man in his 50s who is poor, you're going to be treated like a homeless person. People are going to look at you as a loiterer and as a nuisance. In the state you were born in, the community you were born in, the Nazis are going to start looking at you as a person that shouldn't be their neighbor. You're not good enough to be their neighbor. You know, I got attacked by my own neighbors here in Portland because I'm a renter, or because I'm not a property owner. I got attacked by my Karen neighbor because I'm not a property owner and I'm not on the title, and I'm just not as worthy of being in the city of Portland as they are. Isn't that amazing? It was amazing. I was really amazed. I was really amazed, and they really meant it. My neighbors that stood there and assaulted an innocent man who just asked them to please leave him alone. They just stood there and assaulted me because they can. And then they can lie about it too. They can pretend that I deserved it because they're homeowners. They are valuable, valued citizens in this society. That's what they are. What am I? I'm nothing. I'm just another homeless guy. Just another homeless guy. Yeah, they're a scumbag. They're scumbags. But you know what? People believe scumbags. All the scumbags got nice cars. Scumbags got nice house. Scumbags got all the comfort of the world to run around and tell lies about homeless people because that's what they do. That's what Nazis do. That's what Nazis do is they scapegoat the poor people. They scapegoat immigrants. They scapegoat people who just want to survive. And of course, COVID was a plan. Look at it. They were having sex parties and going to fancy restaurants. Bless you, my friend. Time to wake up. This has been a real ugly week for me, my friends. This has been a real ugly week for me because my own birth family, my own family of birth here in Oregon, denies my very existence. They deny my life. They wish it. Their only comments upon my life is that I should have committed corporate fraud and been really nice about it so that I could be wealthy, and I should have stayed married to abusive people, to abusive narcissists because that would have served their purposes. And I don't know what else their theories about my life might be, but they got theories. Uh, Yeah, I think that's right, Stephen Arrow. We got to hang on to the truth because the thing is, there's no going back. We're not allowed in their world with our truth anyway. They don't want us. They don't care about us. They don't want us. We're not real. They will deny our very existence. Again, we can all be going houseless, carless, foodless, and everything else. Uh, we can be losing everything, and they will just stand by and say that we are not trying hard enough. That's we're not trying hard enough. As if, as if there is anyone on earth who doesn't just want to survive without excruciating pain. As if that's very nice of you to say, Brian. It's very nice of you to say. I don't feel special at all. Yes, I'm a soylent green, worthless worker. Just grind me up and spit me out. I was uncooperative. Nobody wants me. Look, you're looking at a person right here. Doesn't matter if I can bench 300 pounds and if I can go run 6 miles, or if I can. So if I can bench 300 pounds right now in front of you, I can do 50 push-ups and go run 6 miles, and then I can give you an 8-hour dissertation about my studies of app slavery. Guess what? Nobody's going to give me $1 to survive today for any of that. Not $1 for showing that I can be physically strong and mentally strong and know something that benefits the world. Nobody is going to give me any money for that. In fact, they're going to kill me for it. That's what they're going to do. They're going to murder me because of those things. They're going to murder me because I keep my body strong and my mind strong and my words strong. I have to be murdered. And if you don't call taking my housing and my health care and my employment opportunities and my car and all my possessions and my bank account and my entire ability to survive away from me, if you don't call that murder, you just are you're a very ignorant person, because that's murder. Nobody can survive. Nobody can survive that. And you know how I've survived for years? By bartering my own physical labor, by fixing people's houses, by landscaping their yards, by cooking them food, by cleaning their house, just so I can subsist. Not for any money, because everybody I take care of is poor as shit, just to survive in subsistence without any money whatsoever. So what do we get here? We're gonna do the same wall checkup. I'm killing it. Same dollar I had last time. It's the same dollar I had last time, which I think I showed you a dollar about a month ago. Same dollar. That's the same dollar. You know why? Because that's useless to me. It is useless. Useless, useless, useless. $1 of employment, $1 is useless. It does nothing for me. I need housing. I need dental care. I need food. I need independence. I need a dog. I need a cat. I need a life. I need a girlfriend. I need a family. I need an opportunity to survive as a human being in dignity. I don't need $1. I don't need a fucking slave job that does nothing for me except destroy my body further so I can be in more pain and more misery, which is all I got out of app slavery, which is all I got out of all the physical labor that I've been able to pour out of my body despite having an education and skills, because nobody will give me work. Is that what you guys, is that what we're behind in this empire? Is that what Trump's doing? Trump going to genocide all the Jeff Thomas Blacks of the world who refuse to cooperate with the corporate fascists? Because that's what those guys do. If you think Trump is going to save anybody, you're not thinking properly. And I love you, but you're not thinking properly if you believe any uh, of the lies of this empire, any of them, any lie about any war, any lie about any money, any lie about any housing. Get out of here. Everybody in this chat, I guarantee you, even if you're suicidal, and I hope you're not, and I'm not, even if you're suicidal, everybody in this chat wants to survive out of pain today. Everybody. And if you're not being allowed to survive outside of massive psychological pain, massive gaslighting, massive attempts to genocide you, you're remarkable human beings just for being alive right now, just for surviving this very terrible life situation and present moment that we're being asked to survive. It's unconscionable. It's unconscionable. It's unconscionable. And quite frankly, and I say this with my whole heart, and Brian knows this too. I am so glad that I am being genocided with you as opposed to being a Nazi like my parents and my brothers and the rest of the scum fucks that are going to stand by while I die. I am so glad that I'm dying with you rather than living a lie as scum fuck Nazis. I really am. I'm much, much gladder to be dying with you. I'm just not enjoying it very much this morning in my present moment. In this morning in my present moment, it's very painful for me because I'm allowing those thoughts to come into my mind about the manufactured scarcity, about the lack of empathy, the lack of sanity that is being foisted upon all of us with this gaslighting that there's money that we could earn or jobs we could do or gig apps that we could do to keep ourselves from being genocided today. There's not. Love you too. Time to wake up. Thank you very much. And Sinful Toaster, thank you for being here. Yeah, 40 miles a week. Well, that's what it takes to stay alive, man. That's what it takes to stay alive. 76 red pills, 40 miles a week is what it's taking me to stay alive. And I do it every day, regardless if I don't want to go out or not. Because you know what? Because it's like it's the only thing that's keeping me alive, man. I go out and look at trees, and I be at the present moment. I'm like, okay, I'm surviving again. I'm here. I'm alive. This fucking sucks, but can't stay this way forever. And that's the thinking fallacy that I'm attempting to avoid in talking to you, and I'm recognizing is that the one thinking fallacy we don't want to share in this morning is that it's going to stay this way forever. It can't. And I guess, Davey, that's my message. I'm telling you, Jeff Watts just told you it can't stay this way because Jeff Watts can't do it anymore. It can't stay this way. I know that for a fact because I talked to my friend Brian C. of DoorDash Sucks and Delivery Drivers Rideshare Alliance and Gig Apps Exposed this morning. Brian can't do it anymore. I can't do this anymore. It can't stay this way. I can't do it anymore. Nobody can do it anymore. Hey, Greg, good to see you, man. Yeah, our circumstances and experiences are not in vain. That's right, Stephen, because somebody may see this today. Somebody may see this today and make a difference in the world and awaken. You're very kind, Time to Wake Up. I truly appreciate those kind words. I am very, very, very grateful for you and Brian and Red Pills and Stephen Arrow and Greg uh, and Sinful Toaster and everybody here this morning because you're more family to me than the people who gave birth to me. Hey, GLM, good to see you. You're more family to me. You people are more family to me. And I would hope that I'm more family to you than the people that gave birth to you because they sold us out, man. They sold us out real fucking hard. My friend GLM over there, GLM does social work. GLM helps people. GLM knows what's up. GLM knows that people just want to survive. Poor people and immigrants and refugees ain't running scams on anybody. They just want to survive. They just want housing and food, and they want their kids to be alive. That's all they want. That's all they want. Anybody telling you they want something else is from the government. They're here to murder you. Uh, we're from the government. We're here to genocide you. Spiritual being having a human experience, not a human being having a spiritual experience. You're so right, Stephen Arrow, man. You're so right. That's it. And that's why I'm still here. That's why I'm talking to you this morning from my heart. Uh People just want to make a way in the world. That's right, GLM. That's all people want. That's all people want. Nope. And that's we know this, right? We know this from psychology, from Maslow's hierarchy, that until people get food, housing, shelter, medical care, and safety for their children, they don't even care about anything else. All these idiots running around trying to destroy your world with AI and bombs and wars and cops and guns, those guys have all their needs met. Those guys are getting all their needs met, which is why they can try to destroy your world. You get none of your needs met, exactly zero of your personal, societal, professional, and family needs are net. Exactly zero of your needs are net. And you're supposed to go do higher level things. You're supposed to go save the world. You're supposed to vote. You're supposed to vote red or vote blue or feel joy or join a Trump cult. Well, you get nothing. Well, you get nothing but organized crime. Their needs are met. When are the CEOs going homeless? When are the CEOs unable to get transportation? When are the CEOs losing their bank accounts? When are the oligarchs losing the ability to take their kids to the store? Where are the oligarchs losing the ability to have a dog or a cat, or to get health care for their family, or to get veterinary care for their aging pet, or to have any compassion at all for an elderly body that is now racked and in pain and can't do heavy work anymore? How many Walmart greeters do you think are needed? How many Walmart greeters are needed to stand in front of this store at 85 and work all day by saying hello to you and making sure you don't shoplift from the corporation that's murdering you? They only need so many fucking 80-year-olds to stand at Walmart and greet. That job isn't for you. How are you going to survive? How are you surviving now? Do you have a dollar? Do you have $2? Do you have gainful employment? Do you have housing? Are you going to have it next week? Next month? There is literally nothing being done to plan for your survival. You know what's funny? Yeah, loneliness is our best friend sometimes, and I don't mind any of that. GLM has $6. GLM, you and I are balling. GLM and I are going to have a $7 party. 6 plus 1 equals 7. GLM. We're going to go have a $7 party. That's like two $3.50 beers if you can still find a $3.50 beer, and they don't tax it. Yes, absolutely. I was positioned to be a millionaire. I made six figures for many, many years. There is no question that I would be positioned to be a millionaire if I was willing to commit fraud. That is true. That's not really a very high bar, but it's true. Yeah. That's very nice what you said. Great. Red pill's the greatest integrity I've ever seen is being smart like Jeff, but balls to be homeless. Yeah, it doesn't take a lot of balls to be genocided. I mean, it's just what's happening to me. Believe me, if it was up to me, I would not be being genocided right now. I have applied for normie jobs. I've anytime somebody's ever given me an opportunity to have an employment opportunity, I go at it like my life depends on it, and invariably, I'm rejected for whatever reason. Yeah, beers and cheers. This is real, man. And I mean, seriously, this is what I was saying to Brian. It's not about, we know that I'm not going to survive. We know what's been done to this guy. Uh, I'm asking about you. I'm asking about you. Like, how are you surviving? Like, do you even have a dollar? Because Brian or Jeff Watts or somebody who does want to broadcast for you or whatever, they can't even do it anymore, right? You know that Jeff Watts can't afford to broadcast for you in a failing empire. And Brian can't afford to broadcast for you in a failing empire because nobody is going to keep Brian's 56-year-old body from dying on the street tomorrow. Only Brian is going to keep his 56-year-old body from dying on the street. Only me and my daily labor is going to keep me in subsistence from dying on the street. But it's not a stable situation. I can't do this forever, right? I'm dependent upon other people for my survival. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. I have no ability to choose what I get to do with my life or to choose to get out of this poverty. It's like I see the Hurricane Katrina coming, and people said during Hurricane Katrina, like, why didn't they leave? They were going to be killed and murdered and drowned and be flooded. Why didn't they leave? Well, because they were in poverty like us. They had nowhere to go, no money to go there with, no vehicle, no way to leave anything behind, nowhere, no family to go to. This is what happens when you're a refugee. They say, well, why don't you just save yourself with your assets? But you have no assets. The definition of being a refugee and being homeless is that you have no home. You have no state. You have no social safety yet. You have no community. You're just a little human being floating out there in space all by yourself, who's going to die. You're going to die. We're all dying day by day. That's what happens once we're born. We start dying. But there are greedy, greedy people who want all the stuff. They want all the stuff, and they want to believe that they're the good people who are taking all the stuff, and that while you're dying and being genocided, whether it's by war or poverty or joblessness or homelessness or lack of medical care or lack of dental care or lack of a bank account or lack of a car, you fucking deserve it. You fucking deserve it. You did not play ball. You did not play ball. You must die. Well, I don't really feel like dying in the way they want me to die. I just don't feel like doing it. It's not my idea of a good time. So I'm going to keep taking walks by the river, I guess. Uh, you know, maybe if I'm real lucky, I'll just have a massive coronary and fucking drop dead and it'll just be over for me and I don't have to suffer anymore. That'd be great. I'd be into it. I don't want to be alive anymore. You think I want to be alive? You think I want to do this shit? No. I'm alive for one reason. It's because I got two kids. And if you're a parent who kills himself, you're a shitty parent. Because any parent that kills himself is dooming their kids to suicide. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that ever, 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 ever. When you find old Jeff Thomas Black dead, it'll not be because I did it. Somebody else did it. I assure you, somebody else did it. It's not me. I'm not going to. I'm not going to be the one that helps them out. But nevertheless, they're doing a great fucking job. They're doing a great fucking job because I'm getting old. I'm dying on my own. And I got no medical care. I got no peace of mind. I'm absolutely terrified by homelessness, anxiety, poverty, and an inability to function in the world every single day. That's just what I have to manage to just get up every day. And nobody get, and nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to change because the system is made to kill me. That's what they decided to do. They decided to kill me. And I don't know, if a three-letter agency has a mark on my social security number so that anytime somebody gets potentially close to hiring me, it says like, no, do not touch Jeff Thomas Black. You do not want to be in business with Jeff Thomas Black. Well, that's very possible. It's very likely. It's almost certain because I've done everything humanly possible to try and get work. And if you want to prove me wrong, just offer me a job. I'll be there tomorrow. Go ahead and fucking try me. I'll be there tomorrow and I'll run your company for a fair price. Go ahead and try it. Go ahead and try it because I can fucking do it and I will do it. But you're just gaslighting me, right? If somebody wanted me to survive and wanted an honest management employee, I would be hired. Do I seem disabled to you at the moment? Do I seem incapable of serving your needs as a customer? If I worked for any of the monopolies that run train on you every day, do I seem like the kind of person who you would be unable to purchase a product from? I don't. No, and I was very successful in the business world. I was in management, and I achieved the highest of successes. And I did the presentations to the executives, and I worked directly with the CEOs. I was with all the people that made the big money and had the big credit cards. It's not a different game. I know that game. It's just a bunch of people that like golf and to cheat on their wives and to lie about their cars and to stroke their own egos. That's what they do. That's what people mostly do in the big office towers. Is they talk about how awesome they are and how much their job sucks because they hate it. I mean, there many of you have been in the corporate world at one time or another. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm telling you anything that you don't already fucking know. I've been in some of the largest office towers and largest corporate offices on planet Earth. Nike, McDonald's, Nokia, world headquarters, corporate offices, boardrooms, swanky fucking boardrooms, man. You think those guys are playing it straight for you? You think those guys are all just rich and you're poor because they deserve it and you don't? Yeah, that's right, red pills. I refuse to go quietly. Therefore, I must just be censored out of existence. And the only way that they can silence me out of existence is to make sure I have no housing, no food, no family, no vehicle, no employment, and no chance of hope in the future. That's their game plan for old Jeff Thomas Black. That's what's going down. There you go. Time for wake up. Time to wake up. Used to work at Goldman Sachs in Manhattan. Yep, they just print money and then they loot it. And Goldman Sachs also, by the way, is who they changed the DoorDash algorithm and changed the DoorDash strategy to maximize revenue while they use app slaves. I mean, that's what Goldman Sachs does is figure out how to make app slaves more abused, how to steal more of your money with DoorDash's global monopoly and scam. Brian's got a premiere coming up at 5 o'clock on the Gig Apps Exposed channel, so people can look out for that. Um, Stephen Arrow says, "I'm 61 years, same way. Only the car is still rolling." There you go. We're just losing more and more and more and more and more every day, every day, every day, every day. Yeah, and so here's the thing, right? I mean, I've dealt with all of the things that we mentally have to do to survive in poverty, right? With the anxiety and the depression and the abuse and the torture and all those things. So I've dealt with those things, and I've actually kind of come through the other side of that awake and angry, right? Because even though I did those things to improve my present moment, and my present moment is survivable, I am surviving in my present moment. It didn't change my life condition. My life condition is trapped in poverty. Trapped in poverty is my life condition. Intractable, unchangeable, unrelenting, $0, total deprivation and poverty. That is what I get. Thank you, Simple Toaster. See you later. It's been good to share this clusterfuck with you, whatever it was. Um, Again, this is a session of just speaking honestly about what we're facing in this world, because the thing is we're being gaslighted, okay? And so what happens in gaslighting, including to me, who is not clinically depressed, they don't take any medications, they don't have any mental health issues, right? I'm just being a rational, awake, conscious person talking to you here in the present moment. I'm not claiming to be special or smart or empowered by anyone of anything, but I am telling you, right, that uh, the truth of our present moment is that we can play by all their rules, every single one of their rules, and they will not allow us to survive. And so the question we have to ask ourselves and each other is, how are we going to do it? Are we just going to die? Are we going to am I going to make a statement? Should I just like maybe get my last new cell phone and move into a tent down by the river, and then I can broadcast from that tent every day while you watch me die? That's possible. I've thought of that. Like we could just have a Jeff Death watch, and we could just watch a 56-year-old man die on the street. We could count my teeth as they fall out, and we could just watch the last vestiges of my death. That might be what we do. I don't know. We could watch yours too. That seems to be what YouTube is for. I see lots of homeless people broadcasting now, saying like, "Hey, I'm broadcasting my own genocide. I'm broadcasting my homelessness. Whatever." Does it change anything? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. We can speak our truth, right? We can hope people that aren't Nazis hear us. We can hope people that have empathy in this present moment see all of us in app slavery and homelessness and poverty. They see corporate fascism demanding that we take jobs far away from our house with our own expenses, uh, and unable to survive, and they don't care. Yeah, I'm unable to do gig work. I can't afford to license or drive or insure my car anymore. Yeah. And I mean, I've thought, look, so I have a master's in business and lots of experience. Like, I have considered, like, I could potentially like lie about who I am, just be like a homeless person and pretend that I'm not actually me, and try and go get a job as a slave who is not me. But those jobs don't pay anything, and my body is 56 years old. I am not capable of being a physical slave anymore. It doesn't work, and I don't have any health care, and I don't have any support or housing that allows me to be a slave, because I work for subsistence. I work all day, every day, just to stay alive as I am. I don't have the ability to go work outside the house for less money than it takes me to stay housed. Go figure. Go figure that none of us can work outside our house for less money than it takes to survive. It doesn't work. Even if we want to be a good slave, uh, it doesn't work. You can't do it. You can't do it. Brian tried to do it. Brian C. of DoorDash Sucks tried to be a good slave. He kept it going as long as he could as an example. He couldn't do it. He's got no car. He's got no job. He's losing his housing. He's months behind on rent. Everybody else is too. What are we gonna do? Pretend we're all fine? We could be like Pedro DoorDash Santiago's stupid cult, and pretend that this is just opportunity if you want it. Get the fuck out of here. Opportunity. Opportunity to destroy your life. And I wouldn't do app slavery anyway, even if my car drove. I wouldn't do app slavery because it doesn't pay. The risk is too high. That's why I don't have a car to begin with. It's because I spent all my money destroying my car. Then I fixed my car. Now I can't afford to drive it, but it's fixed. It's fixed. I fixed it. The end is near. The end is near. The end of what? I don't know. I don't know what end is near. I mean, maybe we're all dead. That wouldn't be very fun. The end of the empire, definitely, definitely. They're destroying the empire. They're spending all of their resources on war and destruction and AI and anti-human technology, not on human technology or our present moment physical world. They're certainly not spending it on poor people. So Brian says they blocked his video premiere, so he's going to upload it to the driver DoorDash delivery drivers rideshare alliance channel for 5 p.m. Okay, so everybody check out later today at 5 p.m. Yeah, this is the end of wicked systems, and so maybe this is just me venting, to you because again, we're not even. Yeah, count my teeth as we fall out. Yeah, that'll be fun. I mean, it is something you guys can do. You can count my teeth as they fall out. I got one hole already. Never thought that my life would fall apart so badly that I would be losing my teeth like a meth addict. Isn't that wild? I should have just done meth. Wouldn't doing meth have been a more fun way to lose my teeth than just being honest and trying to play by the rules? I was honest and tried to play by the rules of society, so now I'm losing my teeth as a homeless dead person. Well, you people are wonderful. If nothing else, you've given me significant faith in humanity by your presence here this morning and by your kind words. I appreciate them more than I can possibly tell you. The fact that my own family neither loves me nor recognizes my existence is absolutely crushing to this human person that was Jeffrey Black. Uh, just absolutely destroyed me, and I'll never, ever, ever, ever be able to function on this earth and understand why the people who I loved and gave my life to betrayed me. But that's okay. That's okay. Those things happen. Apparently, they happen a lot. Apparently, they happen, which is just it's just wild. I'll share that stuff with you. Honestly, thank you so much for asking Time to Wake Up. I don't even feel like accepting money right now. If you want to donate any money, please donate it to Brian. See if DoorDash sucks. I'm not even sure what money is worth to me right now. Nothing, probably. Yeah, and I do have a Venmo, but yeah, give Brian some money if you got some money right now. He's trying to raise money. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. The only thing I can figure out right now is I'm going to go on a walk by the river in the sunshine. And so, if I'm lucky, maybe somebody will whack me on while I'm on a walk by the river, and I won't have to deal with this anymore because it's just it's too much. I don't want to do it anymore. I just don't want to do it anymore. All right, you guys. I appreciate all of you. I'm grateful, truly, truly grateful that any of you have ever taken any time to listen to any of the stupid words that might come out of my mouth. And if you want to listen to lots of people, all the words that come out of my mouth are worthless and stupid and not true. Maybe I'm just a big old liar. Maybe I'm just a big old fraud. And this has just been a great old scam that I ran on you. Great old scam that I ran on you for fun because it's been a great time. Anyway, I appreciate all you guys. I hope you have a wonderful day. I am going to go on a walk by the river and enjoy the sunshine. I will be around tomorrow if the universe allows me to do so. Down by the river, down by the river. I don't hurt anybody down by the river. I just go down there by myself with the homeless people because it's where I belong. It's pretty much where I belong is on toxic land with homeless people. All right, you guys. Peace. Thank you guys all for tuning in. I know this is some grim fucking news. I wish it was different. I wish it was different in so many ways. Have a good day, you guys. Thank you, my friends.